Hey, what's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Jeff. I'm a full-time reseller on eBay. The Stoic reseller messaged me today, asked me if I saw the glitch that was going on with the page views. It's showing 0 because Jack had mentioned it earlier in the day. And I said to Kevin, yeah, I'm like, it's just a glitch. And then I made a joke. I'm like, we should just start, every time we say eBay, we should just say glitch, you know. He's like, let's start a movement. And I'm like, oh, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I can commit to doing that, but maybe I'll try. Who knows? The glitches are not even, I can tolerate the glitches, to be honest with you. I can never say that the glitches are so bad that it frustrates me. It's the other things that frustrate me, which I'll get to, which you all know. But in this video, I'm gonna look at some of the viewer comments from the last video, which seemed to strike a nerve with resellers. Answer some questions, and then I got a few other talking points. And maybe if there's time, I might do a few what sold at the end. And somewhere in this video, I need to get the video from Maria, is my very first reaction view. I didn't know I was being filmed of Darth Thrifter's 90-second clip the other day of me and Arena Vision and Josh in the office clip space. I don't know if you guys watched that. It was so hilarious, but I was literally crying, laughing, and I'm like laughing and I'm laughing. And Maria and our oldest daughter were behind me, and they're like, what are you laughing at? And then later I found out about halfway through, both of them started filming me. So they both, I don't have my daughters, but I do have Maria. So somewhere in this video, I'm gonna add that footage. I want to start off with a story, something that happened to me today, because, and this is for it's for everybody's benefit, but it's also for Polish Pete to potentially utilize this information. Something similar happened to him where he shipped something out. It was late. Buyer opened a case. He refunded him, and then the buyer ended up getting it. The tracking ended up showing. And then, and so he's out the money. He gets a defect. So that happened to me, and I talked about it the other day, where I shipped 42 mangas to an island near Guam. I can't remember the name of it. Buyer got it, but he had opened a case, and I had to refund him because it was approaching the date where eBay would step in. And then he messaged me the next day saying he would send me the money. He still hasn't. So at this point, I'm kind of like thinking, it doesn't seem like he's going to do it. And then the more I got to thinking about it, the more I was like, well, you know what? I know that there's times where I'll ship an item to a buyer and it'll show delivered, but the buyer will claim that he didn't get it. And I know there's times where the eBay lets the seller keep the item, man, I cannot talk, keep their money, but then they'll also refund the buyer because they want that buyer to have a good experience. So my logic was, I'm going to call eBay and I'm going to try to get them to pay me because I had to refund that buyer because of eBay's policies, because of the way they're structured with items that are lost. And us, we have to do everything. We're responsible for everything. And it is unfair. There's no doubt it's unfair. And then to compound the unfairness of it, to give defects out, like as if we're doing something wrong. It is so petty and it is so wrong of the way eBay handles that. To give Pete a defect for something that he has no control over should never happen. Another perfect example of how the people that run eBay have no idea what it's like to be a seller. They just hand out demerits left and right as if we have any control over it. and it's wrong. And I will call out injustice all the time. And all right, let me back up. So I call eBay, I explain to them the situation, and I got a really good guy. Like, I got a good dude. They transferred me to the returns department, and here's what we settled on. And I think I'm happy with it because I was getting nothing. I was out the $75 for the books. I undercharged on the shipping. I only charged $6 shipping, and it was like $22. It was a mistake on my part, which I was totally willing to just eat when I had the money, when I had the $75. So we settled on a $60 credit that I can use on eBay. So he gave me two options. He's like, I can do that, or I could submit it in for the full 75, and I don't know if you're going to get that. But he goes, I have the authorization right now to offer you 60. And I go, actually, I propose, I'm like, how about we do this? How about you give me that credit, because I did not want to risk getting off the phone and not getting that credit, and then having to call in and talk to someone else who didn't get it. So I said, how about you give me that credit? And then, because he could see the chat between me and the buyer, and the buyer just kind of has ghosted me now since the 14th. And I go, I will try to contact the buyer one more time and see what he can do. I go, but if I contact the buyer and he still ghosts me, I'll consider this matter closed. I'm not going to call back to eBay trying to get any more money. I said, and I was okay with that resolution. So Pete, I don't know what the dollar figure is on the item that you had to refund, but $75 plus the shipping I'm looking at almost $100 lost. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? Someone's got to pay. And initially, obviously, I wanted the money, but I'm going to use that money on eBay anyhow, mainly for the shipping supply stuff, because the way they work it, when you use your coupon, you always end up having to pay a little bit more. So I will use it, so it's kind of the same as cash for me. I'm happy to get something, and I still leave it open. I did message the guy today. I'm like, you know what? Can you send anything? Like, in my mind, I'm like, maybe half? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So there is some information there if this ever happens to you. Maybe try to call on eBay and see if they can help you square things out, maybe give you a credit. It's better than nothing. So I want to go right into a reader question, because I had another issue regarding neutral feedback that I received, that I was talking with this guy, and Blue V2 asks a question. He's been on Glitch for 23 years. So I'm gonna try to say Glitch every time instead of eBay, just in this video. We'll see how it goes. Selling for a little over 1 year. So he's a buyer and longtime buyer, and he's just brand new to selling. He's tried to get 2 feedback revisions today, but found out that they were only allowed 5 revision requests per 1,000 feedbacks in the past 12 months. I didn't know there was a limit. It's common knowledge for the most part. I don't necessarily think it's right, but at the same time, I mean, I don't ever really use it that often. I think I'm at 5 right now, because I'm very, very particular about when I send a feedback revision out. If you don't know, which I didn't know for the longest time, if you have a neutral feedback and you send a feedback revision, they can give you a negative feedback. It should never work that way. Like, you should never be able to revise it downward. And no seller would ever want to go from a neutral to a negative. So I'm very cautious. Now, if they say through messaging that they're going to revise it from a neutral to a positive, and then they don't, eBay in theory said that I've been told that they will step in. But so one potential buyer made an offer. I accepted. After 2 days, they asked to cancel the order without even paying. I agreed and thanked them for letting me know. Shortly after, a neutral feedback appears from them stating, okay. How can someone leave feedback when they have never paid for the listing? That's a head scratcher for me. I mean, I don't see how that's possible. I don't see why eBay would allow it. However, this is what I was told today. I had a feedback, said buyer could be more communicative. And I'd done the internet request removal. I'd contacted a couple people twice, never heard back. And then today I did it again. And then basically within an hour, they told me they're not going to remove it. Now, I had spoken with this guy, the one who took care of me with the refund, and I asked him, why does eBay let something like a comment like this stand when, you know, I accepted the feedback, I accepted a lower offer, I shipped out within 24 hours. He had no issues with the purchase himself, the purchase itself, and you know, I don't really know what he wouldn't. The buyer never responded to my question as to, you know, what are you talking about? Like, what more communication do you want? It's a bogus feedback. The customer service person said the standard neutral doesn't affect your performance. Although in my opinion it's defamation, and if you get enough of those, it looks bad. In my opinion, as a seller, as somebody who takes pride in what they do, it's very disappointing that eBay Glitch doesn't have our backs. They're more concerned about the buyer's experience. This is what he said. He goes, we want the buyers to be able to express their overall feelings, their overall thoughts on the transaction, and they don't want to censor it. So basically eBay bends over and we take it, because it doesn't matter to eBay that there's a neutral on there. We're the ones who are responsible, and it's complete BS. And I know it's just a neutral, but you know, if it's the same. I even asked him, I explained to him how my first neutral was just a period. It was like a punctuation mark dot. Even that, I mean, that's about to drop off any day now, if I remember correctly. But it's just, the whole feedback system is antiquated, and it's not very accurate, and it's not very... I mean, we should be judged on what we do, not how the customer feels. They could be having a bad day and they can take it out on us. So I wish I had a better answer for you, Blue. It's just how they operate. They don't really care about the sellers, and until they make policies or until they start showing that they actually care for the sellers, I just continue to hear stories like this, which, you know, it's unfortunate and it's sad and it's pathetic that they treat their true customers, us, like this. So, but what can we do? It's their playground. One other thing that I wanted to talk about feedback was basically the customer rep kept saying things like the period or the seller could be more communicative. It doesn't violate any eBay policies, and it really seems like they are really sticking to their guns. I know that there's people out there that have called and called back, but he was basically saying how if you send in an appeal and it's rejected, any other future appeals will most likely be rejected. It just seems like they're going to continue to regurgitate the same information, and unless it violates some sort of eBay policy, even if it's inaccurate, even if it's a lie, even if it's doesn't even pertain to anything that you did. I mean, they could literally say, the weather was bad today. I didn't like this transaction, and I don't see how I could argue. I don't see how I could get them to take that down, versus seller could be more communicative. Seller looked at me funny. That's another one. I mean, I mean, that is just as ridiculous as. Anyhow, I want to talk about the 10-cent increase in the listing fee. That was basically, in my opinion, the biggest news. Everything else in that seller update was pretty much worthless, or we already knew, or it was already in effect, or it wasn't even worth taking the time to read it. And I wonder how much time they spent putting that together. Really unnecessary. And but anyhow, so essentially, I set out today to try to figure out how many transactions eBay does in 1 year. To know, I couldn't quite find a number. Now, and Patricia, thank you for trying. She reached out to eBay for Business, and they basically shut her down and said that they don't give that information out, or they sent her a link, but it didn't really do anything. Now, I did find something on the website. I don't know how you say this. Quora. Quora. I don't know how accurate this is, but it says back in 2021, eBay processed over 1.2 billion transactions. And now we're in 2024, so 2020. I'm just thinking about how many they did in 2023. Sales have been down. Maybe it's a billion. Maybe it's a little less. Let's just say it's a billion, right? Let's just say it's somewhere around a billion, give or take. Give or take a couple hundred million. Give or take 100 million. Give or take 50 to 100 million. I don't know, but for the sake of easy math, let's say it's a billion. If I'm doing my math right, eBay now, and I know you got to consider that they did say any total value of items that are $10 or under, including the shipping and handling. So it would have to be like in tax. So it would have to be like basically an item that's $3 or $4, maybe $5 if the shipping is really cheap. So basically, let's just say you're looking at any items that are under $5. And I mean, I don't know how many of those are on there, but let's just, again, I'm aware of that, but let's just say a billion transactions a year. That's $100 million, right? That eBay just gave themselves a raise. Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice that you can just give yourself a raise? But do you deserve it, eBay? That's what I want to know. Do you deserve $100 million raise? Because what have you done for it? Like, you've done nothing. In fact, not only have you not done anything to deserve that raise, you've taken from us time and time again. You keep taking from us. You keep taking from us. And when's it going to stop? Right? I was watching Curious Collections today. They basically, that 10% increase to them is them losing 1% of their total revenue for the entire year of 2023, if they did the way they did their math. So you've taken 1% from that seller. I mean, it's probably, I mean, you could probably extrapolate that. It's probably, we all probably got a 1% paycheck, a deduction. Thank you, eBay. Very much appreciated for doing nothing. Right? You've trashed the search. You've made it so we can't, our items can't be seen in a convenient and easy way. You've wrecked that buyer experience. you're wrecking our seller experience. You don't remove wrongful feedback. You say you want better relations with resellers. I really think you need to get some people in management who have actually used your site as a seller. Like, I'm convinced that's the only way eBay is going to get better, is if you remove the people who have zero selling experience and you put people in there who actually know what it's like to be a reseller. I really don't even know why anybody in eBay at the executive level should be in the jobs that they're at if they don't know, if they've never experienced what it's like to be a reseller on your own platform. It makes common sense, right? You're not going to put somebody who works in an oil field managing a restaurant. And then Jack brought up an interesting point today. He was talking about how eBay's gross volume merchandise keeps decreasing. And, by what percentage, I don't know. But the point that he was trying to make is, if you think about it, and this will illustrate what a shell game eBay is playing. So investors, stockholders, listen up. eBay is losing money. And what they do is they profit. So the gross volume merchandise goes down, and yet they make, when shipping and handling goes up, they make more money on the shipping and handling commissions. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a 1-for-1, and they make money off of they're making money off of promoted listings. So they haven't done anything. They've just taken more money from the sellers. But they haven't done anything. They haven't done anything to deserve that. Not only do they not even do anything, like, promoted listings doesn't even work right. It's not even like if you promote higher, you get more sales. They've made it so we can't even get comfortable with a predictive model of, if we raise our prices if we raise our promoted listings a certain amount, then we can reasonably expect a consistent, profit base. Like, it's not even like that. So your promoted listings model doesn't even work, but yet you take more. So the shell game is, profits are going down every year because we're shrinking as a company. So let's up the per item transaction fee here. Let's throttle sales so we can milk more money out of resellers this way. Let's make it so promoted listings takes money off of the shipping and handling as well, because shipping and handling keeps increasing as well. And you know what? This shell game of just moving, you're basically just moving money from our pockets into your pockets while the e-commerce platform itself is shrinking. You drew first blood, eBay. You drew first blood on April, and I don't see sellers backing down and talking about the ways that you're taking money from us. I don't see that happening until you change your course, until you actually give us more for the fees that you're taking. Okay, well, before we get into the next viewer question, I want you guys to do something. I want a thumbs up if, wait, how do I want to word this? Thumbs up if you think eBay doesn't deserve a raise. Thumbs down if you think they do deserve a raise. That 25% increase for that listing fee, do you think they deserved it? Thumbs up if you think they didn't deserve it. I know that's a little confusing. Thumbs down if you think that they did deserve that. Now, it's easy to say, 10 cents, not a big deal. I even thought that. It's not a big deal. They would have made a whopping 20 cents off of my 2 sales today. No sweat off my back. But the cumulative addition of it makes me feel like, what did they do for that? Okay. And then also, I want your opinion. So I'm going to leave a response to the neutral feedback, but I want to run it by you guys first. And like, I want it to be a little funny. I want it to be a little sarcastic, but I don't know if maybe I shouldn't leave this, but this is what I got so far. Let me know what you guys think on this. So the feedback is, seller could be more communicative. So here's what I've got so far. Is eBay a chat site or is it an e-commerce platform? Shipped within 24 hours, accepted lower best offer, packaged securely, buyer liked the purchase, or I'm sure he would have let me know. Should I email them and ask them how their day was? Shame on eBay, shame on Glitch for tolerating defamation. Sellers should be judged on their performance on the selling. Because it's essentially what it is. It's defamation. It makes me look like I don't answer my emails, which is incorrect. I literally normally answer my emails within an hour. Like normally it's pretty instantaneous unless I'm out. And even then I'm answering emails. But is that too much? That's what I want. I mean, I've revised this down a few times. I feel like I've toned it down. You know, I basically gave my opinion on what I thought, how I feel about the comment, but I don't know if it's too much. Like, is it gonna make me look a jerk? Let me know what you guys think. All right, so the next thing is another viewer comment from Miss 93. People feel as though if they sell a certain high amount abruptly, then they'll be cut off for the rest of the day. This is true. I don't know what the confusion is. You're throttled and limited for a certain amount of business. This is a fact. This is a fact, huh? I mean, if you would have asked me prior to April 1st, when I was in my own reseller island, if I thought that eBay controlled or gave me sales, I would have thought that you were completely ridiculous for thinking that. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I mean, I kind of always thought that if I listed something and somebody was looking for it, I don't look at it like eBay's giving me a sale. I don't know where we get this. I don't know how we got off onto this concept and this terminology that eBay is giving us sales. eBay's not. I mean, it certainly seems that way, but I don't. In my mind, I don't look at it like eBay's giving me anything. I look at it like I have an item. Somebody wants said item. eBay is a platform which connects buyers and sellers. It shouldn't be eBay steps in the middle and says, okay, you want this item. We want you to buy it from this guy and not any of these other guys. Like, that is not, like, I swear, if people signed up for eBay when they signed up, if they knew that's the way it is, they wouldn't do it. Would you? Like, if you think back to when you first signed up, is that what you thought you were signing up for? It's certainly not what I thought I was signing up for. I thought I was like, I've got these comic books. I see that there are people buying them. I'm going to go out there and find them. I'm going to list them and I'm going to sell them. Or I already have these books that I no longer want, and I'm sure eventually there's somebody out there who wants these things. I never in my wildest dreams looked at it like eBay is artificially creating a unfree capitalistic marketplace. So he says this is a fact. You are immediately thinking, where is it stated as a fact? Here's another YouTube genius that thinks he knows it all. I don't know if he's talking about me. I don't think I'm a YouTube genius. I was a little confused by that. It's a fact because all you need to do is understand eBay can direct sales and buyers to your store directly. That's really all you need to know. Yeah, but you still have to have somebody who wants what you have, who's looking for what you have. When a new store starts in a sea of hundreds of thousands of other products, how do you think that brand new store is able to get off the ground? If it were all left to chance, it wouldn't matter what the new store did, their items would be buried forever. If eBay actually put quality scores, item specifics, clear pictures, a clear and concise description, and a perfectly rated above standard store first, then no other store would be able to get on the platform and start selling. eBay, without question, is able to limit, throttle, and outright make your listings completely invisible whether you promote or not, depending on your competition, other stores, and current market. They're able to do whatever they want. It is stated right in the terms of service. Take James, My Boring Reseller Life, who I really like. He says, for example, if eBay wanted, they could allow him to sell almost all his inventory in a month. This is a fact. eBay has millions of buyers every second of the day staring at their screens. But if they allow all of his CDs, DVDs, shirts, and hats to be seen in every search all day long, what happens to other stores that have a mere 40 listings with a hat the same as his that is $17 more than James? The answer is nothing. It'll never sell. Think about it. What did any of you do in order for sales to drop as much as they did? You've been listing just as much. Your pricing hasn't changed much. The way you list and the pictures and description haven't declined in quality. So why are your sales slower? The economy? Come on. I thought the economy was doing great, which it's not, but that's just my opinion. Or is it more plausible that eBay has shifted things to increase their bottom line, and with the inception of standard promotions, advanced promotions, promote, display, off-site, ad promotions, this was all the cause of their normalcy on eBay being uprooted? I firmly believe that promotions lead to more sales. This is absolutely proven, and James' experiments were only a few days, so that's not even close to long enough. He's even said, when I don't promote, my sales are nothing. I'm paraphrasing, but it is something like that. So if you turn off promotions altogether and your sales go down, that's eBay limiting the scope of visibility of your items. This is clear to me, and I sell on eBay and Etsy full time. In turn, this is proof that eBay has a hand in what your impressions are, hence increasing and or decreasing your sales depending on how much you play their game. I mean, I can't disagree with anything that this gentleman says, except I kind of do disagree with if you promote, it will lead to more sales. It won't lead to you getting the sales back that eBay took away from all of us. This actually leads me to something else that seems to be, I know Jack's talking about it. I read that Benny was talking about it as well, is that a lot of us feel that lowering our prices will, help us find that equilibrium of where an item should be selling for versus, because price is everything. But a lot of people now are starting to feel that if we raise our prices, that will trigger something in the algorithm. What do you guys think about that? Do you think by raising your prices, and if so, my thoughts on that is completely preposterous. Because if eBay really did want the buyers to have a good buying experience, they would want them to get the items for the least amount of the best price. So when I hear them talking about best buyer experience, until things like that changes, if it's true that raising our prices actually bumps us up in the algorithm and puts us in a better position, that is complete garbage. It's just, I don't know. All right, next question. Junks in the alley. Also, if you want to stop promoting, don't do that on your existing store. There is no quicker way to stop sales than lower the amount you promote or stop altogether. The algorithm definitely punishes you for that. I experimented with this at the beginning of February, and I'm just now getting back up to speed on sales. Opened a new account, and I'll never promote there. So if you stopped, your sales dropped. So I asked him, I wanted some more information about this person's experience. I said, so you stopped, sales dropped, and then what did you do to get your sales back? Did you up your promotions? And then Benny said, this can be the evidence of throttling we have all suspected here. Here is someone saying exactly such. give basically proof of the whole throttling. And to me, again, if new sellers coming on board, if you're a new seller and you're thinking about joining eBay, until they stop the nonsensical throttling of listings, throttling of our sales, because we know, longtime sellers, we know what's normal. This is not normal. And another thing that I want to say, for those of you out there who watch this, and if you're going to leave a comment and you say things like, "Oh, you're just saying the same things over and over again." Yeah, you ever hear the whole squeaky wheel gets the oil or whatever? Basically, this information, like the same people or new people that are new to the channel, they haven't watched my old previous videos, and I try to add something new and fresh to each video. And obviously, these talking points are still important to the people that are leaving comments and sharing stories. The more stories that are out there, hopefully, eventually, these videos, they get in front of somebody who reads it. I know we're nobody to eBay. We're just sellers, blah, blah, blah. But public PR does mean something at some point. And eBay they're walking a fine line of seeing their platform shrinking, raising fees. Sellers are leaving, longtime sellers are leaving. So yeah, I don't know. My messaging has been consistent since April, and it's not going to change. All right, guys, I just took a break, had dinner with Maria. We watched a little bit more in season 3 of Upload. I would definitely recommend it if you're unfamiliar or you're looking for a comedy that, in an alternate reality, I could almost even see what happens. Basically, when you die, you can get uploaded into this virtual reality. Your consciousness can stay alive. It's very weird. In season 3, it is so trippy and out there. It has like elements of Black Mirror in it. Just there's some weirdness, but it's so far it's good. It's definitely funny. So let's pick up where we left off. I got 3 more comments to get to, a few more things that I want to share with you. And so continuing off where we picked up, John Wallace says, and I've thought about this. So yeah, how do you get resellers to promote more? By having them have fewer sales. Crummy searches result in fewer sales. What do fewer sales usually result in? Resellers having to lower their prices for more sales. Lower prices results in faster sales, usually, in parentheses. Faster sales result in faster profits for eBay. eBay knows resellers start their listings at high prices, so what better way to get them to lower their prices than to have them have crummy search results? Just my 2 cents. Sorry. All I'm basically saying is if eBay wants higher profits, then the way to get them is to get sellers to lower their prices, which should result in more sales and fees for eBay to collect. How do you get resellers to lower prices? Simply have bad search results, which lower reseller sales, which in turn may cause sellers to lower their prices. Hard to explain whether that is in fact going on, who knows. The reason why those two sound kind of similar is because in between it, I think I asked him a question to elaborate a little bit more. But this kind of flies in the face with what a lot of people lately have been proposing, that eBay wants higher price items, and the potential of having to raise your prices might trigger the algorithm. I don't know. It was an interesting theory. I think personally that the motivation for search and low sales is simply to get us to promote more. That's my own theory. I thought that was an interesting comment. Again, what do you guys think? Do you think eBay do you think that's even plausible? That's their goal, is to try to get resellers to lower their prices? I don't know. I don't really feel that lowering prices does a whole lot. But and the other thing is that I know there's sellers out there that have really low prices, or very competitive prices for what they're selling. Lowering prices is relative to where you're pricing at whatever your item is relative to what the market value is of that. So it doesn't even have to be lower price items that you're lowering your items for. It could be a higher price item just to lower it to get it more in line. I think he is true. I think a lot of resellers do kind of start high, hoping to get that one-off sale, and because that's what's worked in the past. So anyhow, I thought that was an interesting comment. Darth Thrifter, what's going on, Mike? He says, Jeff, you may be onto something about the algorithm and AI, learning how we respond and how long it takes to do this or to promote that. I remember how I even discovered your channel in the first place. It was the huge random drop in impressions. This was the second drop in actual impressions I had seen. Well, guess what the first time the impressions dropped, or hold on 1 second. Well, guess what the first time the impressions dropped or the numbers dropped. I ran and I promoted literally the same day. I noticed it on the second day. Then on July 16th, I believe that was the date impressions dropped again, and this time I didn't up anything. My point is they've been fudging the numbers up, down, and all around. We are all sitting here wondering why it's happening. They are literally in control of our business, and we're trying to run a business based on fake numbers that eBay is feeding us. That is a very insightful and frustrating fact. And we like to talk about how you can't really run a business if you have no prediction, predicative model on earnings. It's becoming impossible to know from day to day where your earnings are. And the fact that some people in the comment section are saying that eBay is throttling sales and literally just giving us sales when they feel that we deserve it. Some people speculate that you get a lot of sales at the beginning of the month just so you can pay your eBay store fee. It causes us to make rash decisions with our business because we want to succeed. And I would add that it causes us to be fearful, which causes us to become irrational. It also made me think about how Primo was wondering why external views vanished around the time of the external promoted push. Yeah, I think there's a direct correlation between that. Clearly, January 1st, I think Pete nailed it when he was talking about once that free coupon for external site Google ads went away, then we all saw another throttling down, another impressions, views, everything changed then. And I just don't, I go back to my own experience with Google ads. I had 2 sales, and when I looked at the numbers, it did make sense. Now, was I getting other sales from other people who promoted using Google offsite ads? People would see my promoted listings on their listings and then click off, possibly, but we have no way of knowing that. So it's like eBay is just expecting us to basically pay for the advertising for them. But nobody in their right mind, unless they're getting a return on investment for their advertisements, is going to do that. I don't see how they can expect sellers to foot that bill. Okay. I did have a sale on District today. Not my own sale, but somebody had a decent $20 sale inside. That was the first, I would say, the first decent sale, because the other one was like a $3.45. So this was 2 button lots by Chameleon Collectibles, I think was the seller in that marketplace. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's nice to see something sell in there. Let's see here, District.
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god.
I am going to be including a couple local videos that I had shot, showing you things that I sold. I'm going to show that Deadpool bust that I forgot to include in one of the last videos. And then in that video, there was also a hat local sale. That one did not go through. I wanted to share with you a quick story. I sold this couple Heineken glasses. It was a glass, like a normal glass, and then there was like a stemmed longer glass. I don't know how to describe it other than that. I want to tell you what I did because I want to read to you the feedback that I got. And so have you ever sold something and then you go to ship it and you're like, ooh, maybe I should have disclosed that defect? And you're kind of like, so before I had looked at what I sold, like before I had packaged it, I knew I had some other Heineken stuff. So I was trying to upsell the guy. He wasn't biting. So then after a certain amount of time, I'm like, okay, I think he's good if I don't hear back from him. So I went to package it up and I saw that the one glass probably had a little too many kind of like scratches, and maybe I was not looking at in really good light when I was listing it. And I was like half thinking, if I ship this out, I would say there's a chance he might not be happy with the whole purchase. So what I did was I had another of the stemmed glass. I just sent him 2 of those. So basically I sent him another glass. And I thought maybe by doing this, he'll be, happy that he got a pair of one of the glasses that he got. And he'll overlook or forgive any of the imperfections in the other one, because it was going to be heavy. Like it was going to be a heavy, so it was like over a pound. It was going someplace kind of far. I think it was going to Texas. And I'm like, the last thing I want to do is to have to refund him for the cost of the goods and the shipping. So I'm like, it's not going to cost me anything extra. I remember I had actually gotten that second Heineken glass for free at a garage sale. I actually have a few other things from, the guy had a ton of Heineken stuff. He had soccer balls, which I sold, and there was some other things that I got there. It was that was an epic garage sale day. Anyhow, his feedback, he goes, absolute amazing seller, fast shipping, good communication, goes out of his way. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted him to be happy. I didn't want to like cancel the order. I didn't want to like say anything before. So I took that chance, worked out great. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the screen around. There's 5 sales I'm going to show you real quick, and then I'll flip back around and we'll end this video. All right, so this Lisa Frank button, this sold for $18, including shipping. And I don't know anything about Lisa Frank or what it is, but when I saw the writing on the side of the button and put it into search, it seems like these things go pretty well. Some artsy Amsterdam art postcards. These sold for $12, including shipping. Nothing fancy about these. That looks kind of interesting. They've got clocks on their heads. The Good Asian Comic. This sold for $18 shipping. This got optioned a little while ago. They're gonna make a show about this, and yeah, nothing special about that. Could not upsell that guy. I was trying. These Fiesta Rica guacamole buttons, pair of 2. Nice chunks, eh? These sold for $17, including shipping. The guy actually went out of his way to send me a message saying he used to have these, so he was very happy to get those back. And then the last sale on Maria's store was this El Stinko hat. This actually sold a while ago. I remember because it was going to Japan, I think. Japan or China. One of the two. Might have been China. And then the guy just never paid. So this ended up selling for $28, including shipping. Other than that, I think we're we're all caught up on Maria Store, and then I think over the weekend I'll create a, might have already said that, because I messed up this previous video. I had to reshoot it. All right, guys, I sold this. I know it's from Kenya. I know it actually came from Kenya. Tapestry. I bought it from the same garage sale, estate sale last summer that I got all those esoteric books from. Still selling stuff out of that. Sold this local, but it's being shipped because it's going somewhere in the interior of BC for $50. I did have this listed on eBay at one time, and then I decided to just take it down. It has some wear, and I don't know, it's super cool, but and I'm surprised at what I got for it. Not complaining, because I only have 2 sales on eBay right now today for $50. So this doubles my output. All right, this guy sold for $40 plus shipping, going to Toronto. And what's significant about this is I had this listed on eBay probably for 7 or 8 months. I even listed it on District. In fact, it was the first item I've ever listed on District. And I had it on Facebook and I had it on Craigslist. And it sold on Marketplace for more than I actually had it listed for on eBay. And it's brand new. It's got some wear. Somebody was supposed to buy this locally. He was all ready to come, and then something came up. He had an added expense, and he couldn't really buy it. And you know, I do continue to believe that the economy is a small factor, maybe 15% of what we are experiencing. Things definitely are tight. Inflation is still very real for real things, and a lot of the things that I sell are, well, let's face it, they're guilty pleasures. But people still need guilty pleasures. People still need to spoil themselves. So happy that this sold. Not happy that it took 4 platforms to do it, but more than happy that it's not selling on eBay. Here is a Deadpool 3D printed bust that I picked up years ago. And I was actually getting ready to donate this. And then somebody found it on my Facebook for 40, offered me 30. And I had it on Craigslist for like 5. Because on Craigslist, it's easier to decrease prices than it is on Facebook. Facebook is pretty clunky. So yeah, I'm more than happy. I bought this locally, but it was one of those deals where I bought something from somebody and then he ended up bringing other stuff, and I ended up just pretty much buying everything from him for a really good deal. And then the Seattle Supersonics hat. It's kind of cool because it's actually numbered. Guy offered me 25 locally. I just listed this on eBay a couple weeks ago, but you know, eBay doesn't show our stuff, so I don't know if it'll ever sell on eBay, and I'm more than happy to take that money and funnel it into other purchases. So this deal's going down for sure in a couple hours because I'm meeting a guy somewhere. This guy wanted to come and buy this tonight, but I'm not going to be home because I'm going to be meeting this guy. So, but I'm pretty sure this deal is going to go down. All right, so I was just answering some questions about these Vans, kind of a really obscure color. This is what eBay has become. So I have these listed on eBay for 42 plus shipping, and I've never had anybody express any interest in them. Nobody's ever added them to their watch list. This week, someone was supposed to come and buy these, but they kind of expressed interest, said they were going to come, and then they never specified an exact time. That was earlier on Monday. Did I say I have them listed for 50 locally? And somebody is supposed to come and pick them up tomorrow. She seems pretty eager. We have a time set. You know, my pool of customers locally is so much smaller than eBay. But this is a perfect example of what eBay has become. It is literally where inventory goes to die. That should be there. Oh wait, glitch. Where inventory goes to die. I mean, how else do you explain what's going on? I mean, so lately, right now, I'm trying to get to even right now year over year. January was horrible. At one point, I was down like 50%. I think the third week of January. Now I'm down 17.5%. So I am getting some sales, but it is extremely sporadic. And I don't particularly like the idea of being at the mercy of if eBay feels like giving me sales. Like, how about having a marketplace where people can actually just search for what they're looking for? Like, why is that such a novel concept? I don't see what the issue was with eBay working prior to April 1st. It was working just fine. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I do not believe that eBay deserves the what was it, $100 million annual raise that they gave themselves. If you guys don't think that they deserve it, thumbs up. If you think they do deserve it, thumbs this video down. Let's let them see, with people voting, where they stand. Take care, guys. If you like this kind of content and you enjoy alternative thoughts on what's going on, or rather not alternative thoughts, it's I think a lot of people are feeling the same thing, and it's nice to see other YouTubers really starting to echo the sentiment that I've been pretty much preaching all summer. Really, things picked up in July, but I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad what eBay has become. What Glitch has become. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good evening. Oh, I have to go back to the dentist tomorrow. I have a cavity, which that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is might be a root canal. So fingers crossed, guys. Send me some good energy. I really do not want to have a root canal. This life has not been good to me teeth-wise. So, I know what I wanted to talk about. I think eBay needs to do a system restore. You know how, like, with your computer, you can do like a system restore, go back to a prior date? I really think they need to just do a system restore, go back to March of last year. What do you guys think about that? I think that is something that we should all just try to manifest. Try to manifest a system restore. Do away with all this BS stuff that they've been doing. I know it's not going to happen. I know, guys. And I'm not going to stop selling on Glitch, unless they kick me off. Which I guess is a very real possibility if they don't like what I'm saying. But I'm not saying anything that probably at least 1 million other sellers are thinking. So, all right, guys, I'm signing off for the evening. Take care. Peace and blessings. We'll see you soon.